Today, I want to talk about something I noticed with a bunch of startups that are out there. And if you're a startup founder watching this, I hope you don't take this personally. We need to get our startup pitches to be clear. I know, there's a bunch of AI, NFT based blockchain, crypto, Web3 companies out there that are like, we're crushing it with our clarity. But as I go and see more companies in their about sections, reading through how they describe themselves, looking at their landing pages, a lot of them I have no idea what you do. So, what do? Well, if you are a startup founder and you're struggling with positioning, I think one of the easiest things I always tell people is make your startup pass the grandma test. Let's pretend that I sat down and I had a nice slice of apple pie with my grandmother sitting across the table. She's been dead for 10 years, by the way, so she's kind of a ghost. I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to stay calm. Everything's okay. But let's pretend that I was getting apple pie with her and she said, Ryan, what's your company do? You want to be able to describe your company to grandma the exact same way that you would describe your company to prospects, customers, people that might come up to your booth at a conference, investors. Everywhere you go, you want to have the same exact pitch, because if you don't, it's confusing as hell for people. Now, you're going to experiment and iterate and change your pitches a bunch. I've done that, but I always try to make sure that my pitch can pass the grandma test. And if it doesn't, I iterate and change it again. And that's okay. You want to be able to describe what the problem is that people deal with, how you're fixing that problem, and an example of it working. If you can do those three things coupled together, I guess you can't couple three things, but you know what I mean. If you can take those three things and deliver that information to somebody when you're a new startup, you're going to be a lot better off with getting people to respond and know if you have product market fit or not. Obviously, you don't want to pitch, you want to ask questions and make it a conversation. But when I'm sitting at the table with grandma and she's teeing me up to ask what my startup does, I want to make sure that she can't just understand what I do. She can go call my cousin Johnny and tell him what I'm doing, my cousin Frankie and tell him what I'm doing, and Franny and all those people. The point is, you have no shot at your startup getting traction if people don't understand what it is that you do. So many startup founders will go see these big companies like Salesforce and say like, look how they're describing their product, or HubSpot, right? The problem is those companies have been around for 20 years. They already have a reputation. People already understand what products they have. They understand what markets they're changing. But when you're a brand new startup, people are usually hearing about you for the first time. You want to have it clear what value you bring, what pain you solve, and what's the outcome after someone uses it. Don't follow big companies. Focus on passing the grandma test.
Hey, you right there. Hit that subscribe button, will you?